Hello and welcome back to another episode of Financial Fast Facts. I'm George Anagnostou, Treasurer of Strongsville City Schools. In this episode, we'll be highlighting the district's annual budget for fiscal year 2026 and the fall 5-year forecast that was approved by the Board of Education at their September 25th board meeting. Revenues for the current fiscal year 2026 are estimated at $83.1 million, a decrease of $3.5 million or 4% from the previous year. Between fiscal year 21 and fiscal year 25, annual revenues averaged about $86.9 million with minimal growth. However, a significant change occurred in the second half of fiscal year 2025. Our 2019 renewal levy expired, resulting in an annual revenue loss of $9.9 million. This $9.9 million reduction accounts for the substantial revenue decrease in fiscal year 26 and will continue to impact future years. Of our total revenues of $83.1 million, only $9.5 million, or 11%, comes from the state funding formula. Nearly 78% of our total funding comes from local property taxes, which means our school district is heavily reliant on community support for operations. The district has another renewal levy generating $8.4 million annually that expires in fiscal year 2028. Originally approved by voters in 2002, this levy's collections will cease after December 31st, 2027, if not renewed. Expenditures for the current fiscal year 2026 are estimated at $95.3 million, an increase of $5.5 million or 6.2%. Over the past 5 fiscal years, fiscal year 21 to fiscal year 25, expenditures increased at an average annual rate of 4.29%. Future projections, fiscal year 26 onward, estimate a moderate growth rate of 2.82% annually. These increases are driven by additional staff needed for growing enrollment and student needs, competitive salaries, rising healthcare costs, higher utility expenses, and general inflations in goods and services. Our district is entering a period of deficit spending, where annual expenditures will exceed revenues, requiring us to draw down cash reserves. The September 2025 forecast for General Operating Fund projects fiscal year 2026 revenues of $83.1 million against expenditures of $95.3 million, a gap of $12.2 million, which the district will deficit spend. As you see in the chart, the gap continues to increase each of the following fiscal years. For fiscal year 2026, the ending cash balance is projected to be approximately $33.9 million, which represents 35.57% of expenditures. As expenditures continue to outpace revenues, the district will deplete its cash reserves. Current projections show this deficit gap widening each year, leading to a projected cash deficit of negative $12.9 million in fiscal year 2029. For additional details on the fall 5-year forecast and annual budget, please visit the Treasurer's website for the forecast statements, assumptions, as well as the board presentation. Now let's transition to our Q&A section. We received the following questions from the community. What is the difference between a bond issue and an operating levy? Well, that's a great question. A bond issue, if approved, allows a district to issue bonds which work like a mortgage loan and use those proceeds to construct buildings. The bond levy dollars collected annually pay the principal and interest payments on those bonds, similar to a mortgage payment. The typical term is 35 to 37 years, and the levy dollars can only be used for that purpose. An operating levy generates funds for the district's ongoing day-to-day expenditures, things like salaries, utilities, transportation, instructional materials, and other operating costs. Another question that we received from the community is, what is the board considering for the May 2026 ballot? Although no official resolutions were approved by the board at this time, the board has been having ongoing discussions at their board meetings for a bond issue to build elementary schools for the May 2026 ballot. Do you have a question that you want answered? If so, please scan the QR code that is on the screen. We would love to hear from you. This concludes this episode of Financial Fast Facts. To view other episodes, please visit the Treasurer's website at scesmustangs.org/departments Treasurer's Office, as well as viewing other monthly reports or annual information that is on the site. We hope this information helps you understand the district's finances better, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the Treasurer's Office at 440-572-7021. Thanks again for watching. Have a great week, and go Mustangs!